Are you in for a rough night? Let's find out. Hello Fanatics, I'm Dylan Phillips, and this is the Film Fanatic Review bringing you Rough Night, starring Scarlett Johansson, Jillian Bell, and Zoe Kravitz. First, we'll tell you what the movie is about, and our initial thoughts. Then we'll move on to some spoiler-free likes and dislikes. We'll finish up with some spoiler-heavy thoughts on the film, and our final word. Rough Night follows the story of a group of girlfriends at a bachelorette party whose night takes a turn for the worse after they hire a male stripper. Overall, I enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought I would. It isn't a comedic masterpiece, but it has its moments. For what I liked about this film, I'll start off with the cast. This is an A-list cast who's good at comedy, there's no doubt about it. And at its core, this is a great bare-bones story about people growing up after college and losing touch. There are also some genuine comedic moments throughout the film. And there's a great subplot with the fiancé that I won't spoil. However, the situations in this film are all over the place, which makes the story seem unplausible. There's very little beyond the crude dick jokes of this film, with most of the highlights already appearing in the trailers. But my biggest concern with this movie is the amount of subplots that they tried to add in that weren't really necessary to the overall story, and I'll explain that more in the spoiler section. And that's where I'll end our spoiler-free thoughts on this film. If you want to hear our final word or rating of this film, pause now and click the link in the description, because now, it's time for spoilers. First off, I said I wasn't going to talk about the fiancé subplot, but I just have to because it was a great break from the main story of this film. The Adderall diaper Red Bull combo and the pit stop scene at the gas station were both great additions to this film. As for my concerns, there were two subplots that I found were entirely unnecessary to the main plot of this movie, and that was the diamond heist and the openly sexual neighbors. The diamond heist seemed like a reason just to add some action to this comedy and make it kind of like 21 or 22 Jump Street, when it didn't really need that. They put this twist in there where the stripper isn't actually a stripper, and so that they can kind of say, well, he was a bad guy anyway, so if you killed him, it's fine. And that's really their way of trying to make sure that everyone's all good at the end. But, I mean, it seemed a little bit far-fetched, as it didn't really do anything for the first two acts, and it was kind of the girls just bumbling around with a dead body, like Weekend at Bernie's. And then the final third act was like, all of a sudden, let's just amp up that there is this subplot. There was no mention of it up until basically the third act. As for the openly sexual neighbors, I found that they only really added that to have some R-rated crude humor in the movie. Now, that isn't a bad thing when you add it to certain films, but this one, the characters gave off this really creepy vibe, and I just found that it was a bit awkward. And to me, the best scenes in this movie were the initial flashback to college, the beach scenes, the clubbing scenes, the entire subplot with the fiancé, and probably the best scene in the movie, the airport scene where they pop the bottle of champagne and, well, you know if you've seen the film. So, with the thoughts heard, here's our final word. Rough Night is a raunchy comedy filled with A-list talent. While the story feels incohesive and patched together with jokes, it has a relatable story at its core, with some genuine laughs throughout the night. This film is crude Weekend at Bernie's meets 21 Jump Street, so I'm gonna give Rough Night a 6.5. Thanks everybody for watching our review. Are you planning on seeing Rough Night? Or if you've already seen it, do you have something to add? What did you think of the story? Let us know in the comments below. I'm Dylan Phillips, and this has been the Film Fanatic Review. If you liked this video and you want to see more, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Check out our latest If You Liked video, where we recommend movies similar to the film It Comes at Night. Don't forget to follow us on our social media. And until next time, Fanatics, keep it real.